And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Mufasa's Daily Book Reading at Noon. Coming to you today with a new book. Are you excited to find out what we're reading? I'm sure you've already seen it in the description of today's live. We're going to be reading Stephen Covey's book, The Eighth Habit. Yes, so we're moving from effectiveness to greatness. We dealt with systems in the last book, and so now we're moving ourselves from that effectiveness of having powerful systems to just greatness, right? So we're actually mixing our first book and our second book together, the systems approach, right, with the energy leadership book. So let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to start reading the first chapter today. Remember that you can find our previous readings on our YouTube channel, and the link to that is in the description of today's live. My 10 minutes is set. I hope you're well and you're safe. And yeah, let me start reading. Chapter 1. The Pain. Listen to the voices. I'm stuck in a rut. I have no life. I'm burned out, exhausted. No one really values or appreciates me. My boss doesn't have a clue of all I'm capable of. I don't really especially need I don't feel especially needed, not at work, not by my teenage and grown children, not by my neighbors and community, not by my spouse, except to pay the bills. I'm frustrated and discouraged. I'm just not making enough to make ends meet. I never seem to get ahead. Maybe I just don't have what it takes. I'm not making a difference. I feel empty inside. My life lacks meaning. Something's missing. I'm angry. I'm scared. I can't afford to lose my job. I'm lonely. I'm stressed out. Everything's urgent. I'm micromanaged and suffocating. I'm stuck. I'm sick of all the backstabbing politics and kissing up. I'm bored, just putting in my time. Most of my satisfaction comes off the job. I'm beat up to get the numbers. The pressure to produce is unbelievable. I simply don't have the time or resources to do it all. With a spouse who doesn't understand and the kids who don't listen or obey, home is no better than work. I can't change things. Ooh, that was packed already just in the first few lines. Ooh. These are the voices of people at work and at home. Voices of literally millions of parents, laborers, service providers, managers, professionals, and executives all over the world who are fighting to make it in the new reality. The pain is personal and it's deep. You may relate with many of the statements yourself. As Carl Rogers once said, what is most personal is most general. Of course, some people are engaged, contributing and energized in their work, but far too few. I frequently ask large audiences how many agree that the vast majority of the workforce in your organization possesses far more talent, intelligence, capability, and creativity than their present jobs require or even allow. The overwhelming majority of the people raise their hands, and this is with groups all over the world. About the same percentage acknowledge that they are under immense pressure to produce more for less. Just think about it. People face a new and increasing expectation to produce more for less in a terribly complex world. Yet, they are simply not allowed to use a magnificent portion of their talents and intelligence. In no ways is this pain more clearly or particularly manifest in organizations that in their inability to focus on and execute their highest priorities, using what we call the XQ, Executive Quotient Questionnaire. Harris Interactive, the originators of a Harris poll, recently polled 23,000 US residents employed full time within key industries and in key function areas. Consider a few things. Consider a few of their most stunning findings. Only 37% said that they have a clear understanding of what the organization is trying to achieve and why. Only 1 in 5 was enthusiastic about their teams and organization's goals. Only 1 in 5 workers said they have a clear line of sight between their tasks and their teams and organization's goals. Only half were satisfied with the work they have accomplished at the end of the week. Only 15% felt that the organization fully enables them to execute key goals. Only 15% felt they worked in a high trust environment. Only 17% felt that the organization fosters open communication that is respectful of differing opinions and that results in new and better ideas. Only 10% felt that the organization holds people accountable for results. Only 20% fully trusted the organization they worked for. Well, only 13% have high trust, highly cooperative working relationships with other groups or departments. If, say, a soccer team had these same scores, only 4 of the 11 players on the field would know which goal is theirs. I love how we just generalized that so we all get the point. Only 2 of the 11 would care. Only 2 of the 11 would know what position they play and know exactly what they are supposed to do. And all but 2 players would in some way be competing against their own team members rather than the opponents. Very nice. I mean, the way he's writing this is very nice. The data is sobering. It matches my own experience with people in organizations of every kind all over the world. Despite all our gains in technology, product innovation, and work markets, most people are not thriving in the organizations they work for. They are neither fulfilled nor excited. They are frustrated. They are not clear about where the organization is headed or what its highest priorities are. They are bogged down and distracted. Most of all, they don't feel they can change much. Can you imagine the personal and organizational cost of failing to fully engage the passion, talent, and intelligence of the workforce? It is far greater than all taxes, interest charges, and labor costs put together. Why an eighth habit? The world has profoundly changed since the 7 Habits of highly effective people was published in 1989. The changes and complexity we face in our own personal lives and relationships, in our families, in our professional lives, and in our organizations are of a different order of magnitude. In fact, many mark 1989, the year we witnessed the fall of the Berlin Wall, as the beginning of the information age, the birth of a new reality, a sea of change of incredible significance, truly a new era. Many have asked whether the 7 habits are still relevant in today's new reality. My answer is always the same. The greater the change and more difficult the challenges, the more relevant they become. You see, the 7 habits are about becoming highly effective. They represent a complete framework of universal, timeless principles of character and human effectiveness. Being effective as an individual and organizations is no longer optional in today's world. It's the price of entry to the playing field. But surviving, thriving, innovating, excelling, and leading in this new reality will require us to build on and reach beyond effectiveness. The call and need of a new era is for greatness. It's for fulfillment, passionate execution, and significant contributions. These are on a different plane or dimension. They are different in kind, just as significance is different in kind, not in degree from success. Tapping into the higher reaches of human genius and motivation, what we call voice, requires a new mindset, a new skill set, a new tool set, a new habit. The eighth habit then is not about adding one more habit to the seven, one that somehow got forgotten. It's about seeing and harnessing the power of a third dimension to the seven habits that meet the, the central challenge of the new knowledge worker age. The eighth habit is to find your voice and inspire others to find theirs. And I think we'll just, end our reading right over there. Absolutely beautiful. We got an insight of what the book is about already in the 10 minutes. And I'm sure that this is going to be really, 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 really nice for all of us, coming from the previous two books that we've read. So I hope that you enjoyed today's reading. You're excited about the next few readings and you have subscribed to our YouTube channel. Remember that that link is in the description of today's live. I will see you on Friday. Goodbye.